Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to solve a problem on transmission lines by using Smith chart. A 100 plus J times 150 ohm load is connected to a 75 ohm lossless transmission line. Find the reflection coefficient, standing wave ratio, load admittance YL, input impedance at 0.4 lambda from the load, the locations of Vmax and Vmin with respect to the load if the line is 0.6 lambda long, and input impedance at the generator. The given load impedance ZL equal to 100 plus J times 150 ohm, and the characteristic impedance ZO is given, that is equal to 75 ohm. All the impedances on the Smith chart has to be represented by normalizing it with characteristic impedance. Therefore, normalized load value equal to ZL by ZO, that is equal to 100 plus J times 150 by 75, that is equal to 1.33 plus J times 2. ZL bar equal to R plus Jx equal to 1.33 plus 2J. Value is 1.33 and X value is 2. Identify this point on the Smith chart. R equal to 1.33 means on the real gamma axis you have to identify 1.33. This curve is 1.2, this curve is 1.4, that means 1.3 means this curve, and 1.33 means somewhere here. X value equal to 2 means we are talking about this curve, and the point of intersection of these two curves is this point. Let us say this point is P. We have to find the reflection coefficient. So this circle is passing through that point P with a center at center of the Smith chart. Next step, you have to draw a line from center of the Smith chart to the edge of the Smith chart passing through point P. Now measure the distances, this distance and this distance, because at the center of the graph you have mod gamma equal to 0, at the outside you have mod gamma equal to 1. This distance is 8.9 centimeters and this distance is 13.5 centimeters. Therefore, magnitude of reflection coefficient equal to 8.9 by 13.5, that equal to 0.659. Magnitude of gamma equal to 0.659. In order to represent the gamma value, I must have magnitude of gamma as well as phase of gamma, that is theta suffix gamma. Now you have to find out this theta suffix gamma. Phase of reflection coefficient means this angle, theta suffix gamma. This is 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. And this angle is 40 degrees. Theta suffix gamma is 40 degrees. Therefore, gamma equal to 0.659 angle 40. Now we have to find out the standing wave ratio S. The point of intersection of this gamma circle on positive gamma axis is nothing but our standing wave ratio. So this is 4.0, this point is 5.0, so this is around 4.8. So S equal to 4.8. Standing wave ratio equal to 4.8. Next we need load admittance Y suffix L. In the previous problem we calculated load impedance. Now we are going to calculate load admittance. On the Smith chart we know that this point P is our normalized load impedance. In order to get normalized load admittance, what you have to do is you have to extend this line in other direction. Let us call this point of intersection as P dash. Now try to find out the R circle and X circle at this point. This circle is 0.2 that you see from here, and this circle is 0.3 that you can see here. So this is 0.2, this is 0.3 now, and divide this into 5 parts. That means this point is R equal to 0.22. Now try to find out the X circle. X circle is, this point is in between these two lines. So this is 0.4, this is 0.3, this line is 0.32, this is 0.34, this line is 0.36, and the line is in between these 2 points. Let's call it as 0.345. Therefore X equal to 0.345. Now I can write normalized load admittance equal to 0.22 plus 0.345 into J ohms. But what we require is not normalized load admittance, we require load admittance. So if you want load admittance, then YL equal to YL multiplied with characteristic admittance. Therefore YL equal to 0.22 plus 0.345J multiplied with characteristic admittance, means 1 by characteristic impedance, that is 1 by 75. Therefore YL equal to 2.93 into 10 power minus 3 plus 4.6 into 10 power minus 3, units are mhos. YL equal to 2.93 plus 4.6 millimhos. The next question is Zin at 0.4 lambda from the load. That means from the load you have to travel a distance of 0.4 lambda. On a Smith chart, traveling a distance of lambda is equal to 720 degrees, that means 2 rotations. But here we need 0.4 lambda, that equal to 0.4 into 720 degrees, that is 288 degrees. So on the Smith chart you have to travel 288 degrees from this line, that is towards the generator. So on the protractor this is 0 degrees, 288 degrees means this point. Draw a line from the center to this point. The point of intersection of this line and the curve is this point. Let us find the value of R and X in this case. The R value is, this is 0.2, this is 0.3, and this is 0.4. So it is above 0.3 line, right? So 0.3, this line is 0.25. So I can write R equal to 0.28. This curve is X equal to 0.6. This curve is X equal to 0.65, and it is in between these two. Therefore I can write X equal to 0.63. Therefore the normalized load impedance at a distance of 0.4 lambda is 0.28 plus J times 0.63. If you want absolute impedance, then ZL equal to ZL bar multiplied with ZO, that equal to 0.28 plus J times 0.63 multiplied with characteristic impedance is 75, that is equal to 21 plus 47.25 J. ZL at a distance of 0.4 lambda is 21 plus 47.25 J ohms. The locations of Vmax and Vmin with respect to the load if the line is 0.6 lambda long. Now we have to find out Vmax and Vmin. On the Smith chart, you know that this point represents Vmax and this point represents Vmin. The important point that you have to observe in the question is 0.6 lambda. You know that on a Smith chart, if you travel a distance of 0.5 lambda, that means half of your wavelength, you will complete 360 degrees. But here it is given 0.6 lambda. That means we have to find out the angle for 0.6 lambda first. Lambda represents 720 degrees. 0.6 lambda represents, that is 432 degrees. That means you have to travel 432 degrees from the load. Now this is the load point. From this load point, you know that this angle is theta suffix gamma. And we already seen this value, it is 40 degrees. Now you have to find out 40 degrees corresponds to what amount of lambda? Lambda represents 720 degrees. Let us say lambda dash has to represent 40 degrees. That implies lambda dash by lambda equal to 40 by 720 degrees. That equal to 0.055. That means if you travel a distance of 0.055 lambda, then you are going to get a maximum value. And from this maximum to minimum, the angle is 180 degrees, which represents lambda by 4. Therefore, the minimum value exists at a distance of lambda by 4 plus 0.055 lambda, that is 0.25 lambda plus 0.055 lambda, which gives you 0.305 lambda. So this is the place where you have V minimum and this is V maximum. Again, from this V minimum, if you travel a distance of lambda by 4, that is this is lambda by 4, then again you will get Vmax. Vmax again you will get at 0.305 lambda plus 0.25 lambda, that equal to Vmax 0.555 lambda. If this is the transmission line, and here if you have a load, this is ZL, the characteristic impedance of the transmission line is ZO, and the length of the transmission line he given it as 0.6 lambda. The first maximum you will get at 0.055 lambda. So let us say this is 0.055 lambda distance. Next you will get a minimum value at 0.305 lambda. If you travel a distance of 0.305 lambda, here you will get V minimum. this is V max. Again you will travel a distance of lambda by 4. Let us say this is lambda by 4. The total value is now 0.555 lambda. Here you will get a V max. After this V max, again you will get V minimum. At V minimum at, now the distance is 0.555 lambda plus 0.25 lambda. The total is 508. That is, again you will get V minimum at 0.805 lambda, but the length of the transmission line which is given is only 0.6 lambda, right? That's why on this transmission line you are going to have two maximas and one minima. Maximum value is available here, and minimum value is available here. While discussing the characteristics of a transmission line, we have seen a property: the normalized impedance of the transmission line repeats itself for every lambda by 2 distance. That means the distance between these 2 points on the transmission line is lambda by 2. Or else on the Smith chart, if you start from here and travel 360 degrees, you are going to get the same point. The next question is input impedance at the generator. Input impedance at the generator means impedance at a distance of 0.6 lambda, right? We already seen 0.6 lambda corresponds to 432 degrees. Anyway, in which 360 degrees represents one rotation. Therefore, if you subtract 360 degrees from 432, you will be having 72 degrees. Now, on the Smith chart, you have to travel 72 degrees. 72 degrees from the load means from here you have to travel 72 degrees. 72 degrees towards the generator in this direction. 72 degrees means this line, and let us see where does this line intersected with gamma circle, that is this point. R value is equal to 1.8. You can see this line, and X value is equal to, this is 2.0, this is 3.0, that means this is 2.2, and this is in negative axis, that's why X equal to minus 2.2. Z in bar equal to 1.8 minus 2.2J. But the question asked is input impedance, right? That is equal to normalized input impedance multiplied with characteristic impedance. 135 minus 165 J ohms. Therefore, input impedance equal to 135 minus 165 J ohms. You can compare these answers with calculated values.
Thank you.